Hi, friends. We are back for another episode of Engage for More podcast. Yay!
Yippee!
This is episode number 139, and it's the month of June. And so we're calling this Jumpstart June. And so we're about to dive into a really good topic that we all need in one way or another, me in all the ways. And so we're glad that you're here, that you're tuning in to us today. My name is Pam Pegram, and I'm hanging out with my friends.
I'm Kim Ball.
Hi, I'm Gwen Neal.
Yay! And so, we exist to encourage you to engage Jesus, right? And experience the more that he came to offer you personally. And so we talk about all different kind of topics, but today we wanted to come back and really talk about our physical health and how do we engage Jesus in our physical health, right? Because no matter what's going on with you, maybe you don't have any diagnosed ailments, but maybe you're just tired. Yeah. Or maybe you're sluggish and just overweight and lethargic, or maybe you're just got some bad habits that really we need to surrender and ask God to give us some good help, some good habits, right, that will actually improve our health. So that's what we're diving in today, and I got nothing. So girls.
Well, we're calling this Jumpstart June because usually we kind of re-engage our physical health in January, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
We're going to get a jump start on January.
Right.
And what a better time than the summer when you can eat all the fruits and be out and do some physical activity outside. It's not easy to do that during the winter, be outside, but when it's nice and really pretty, you can be outside engaging your physical health and get out and walk, some steps outside. We don't have to go really fast, but just maybe using last podcast, we kind of talked about that.
That's
and how
right.
we engage Jesus is just kind of just going on a walk, looking at what he created in nature and just really caring about our body, because really ultimately our body is where the Holy Spirit resides, right?
Yes.
And that is our motivation for keeping, it should be, not social media, not the world and what the world thinks our bodies should look like, but the motivation that the Holy Spirit is the temple in which our bodies are the temple in which the Holy Spirit dwells.
Yes.
And so it should be the place that we make sure that it is sufficient inside and out. And so, and maybe it's just getting up and taking a few extra steps. Maybe it's being able to get out and play with your dog, whatever it is.
Yes.
But really enjoying a few things on the lighter side, maybe replacing that bowl of ice cream with a bowl of fruit. Just some simple things, but only because, and Gwen's already laughing at me. But
No, we're already convicted, okay? We are so convicted, Kim.
I didn't say German chocolate cake with fruit.
Okay, good.
I just said ice cream with fruit. Eat your German chocolate cake.
Thank you.
No, but honestly, just thinking about small, simple things you can do to better your physical health.
Yes, I think that's so good. I actually wear a Fitbit every day of my life, and it's not so I can get 15,000 steps in a day, right? It's because if I don't wear a Fitbit, because of what I do, because so much of what I do is done sitting at my desk with my laptop in front of me, I can go a whole day and not walk 1,000 steps. Yeah. You know what I mean? Especially if it's a work from home day. And so I need to know that, right? So that I can go, I need to take a walk. And I have a path I walk, so I can sometimes just at night to stop by each of my children's house just to tell the grandchildren good night, right? Just to dart in and tell them good night real quick and get back out on my walk. But doing things so that you are aware of how little, because I can remember me and Tom bought us some Fitbits years ago for Valentine's. So I got him one and got me one too, right? We got these Fitbits. And I'm like, mine doesn't work. Something is wrong with my Fitbit. Because I had no idea I took so few steps.
Yeah. Right.
And that's back when I was blowing and going in my other business, but so much of it was right here, sitting in front of my computer.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So I love the fact that Kim said, replace that bowl of ice cream with some fruit.
I love ice cream.
Me too. And I was
good.
doing so good, not enjoying it. But yesterday, I stopped by the grocery store after church, and they had, the big blue bell.
On sale.
Yeah. half chocolate, half vanilla. You know, what do they call that? The Great Divide. So I bought it.
Yes.
So anyway, here we are talking about engaging Jesus in our physical health, which is what we want to do, because he will give us the motivation, the wherewithal to really come up with a plan that's for our body type, that's perfect for us.
Yes.
And help us stick with it.
That's true.
Yes.
And I think about Abraham and Moses when I think about physical health. Abraham, you know, being told to leave his home and walk, you know, we're talking walk, or maybe he had a camel. But still, it was out in the hot desert. So he's sweating. That's physical exercise. And then when he had to walk up the mountain to sacrifice his son, I mean, really, girls, do we get labored when we walk from the bedroom to the kitchen?
Yes.
And then Moses walking up the mountain to meet with God. So here are two men who were actively engaging Jesus in their physical walks. And I love that.
Good.
And so I
good,
say, Lord, if you kept Abraham, if you enabled Moses to walk up the mountain, down the mountain, back up the mountain, and then, you know, he stayed there because he died, and you buried him, I want to be able to walk well into my 80s and 90s unassisted.
Yes. It's so important.
And that starts with taking care of your health.
That's
Right.
right.
Yeah. And you want to be in a place to have the strength to what God's called you to do.
Yes.
Right. And so if you are not eating the foods that are giving you strength, but just making you feel just and weighed down, and or maybe it's been a while. Let's just talk about this, ladies. Maybe it's been a while since you've been to get your checkup or a physical, or something with your doctor or nurse practitioner. You need to get to the doctor. Just have all your levels checked. Taking care is more than just diet and exercise. It's getting to your regular scheduled appointments. It's getting your mammograms. It's getting your pap smears. It's doing all of the things to make sure and ensure that you're still going in, like to you say, your 80s, 90s, unassisted. But when you don't get to the doctor on a regular basis, things sneak up on you. And we just have a friend, not just a friend of the family, who just all of a sudden was living their best life, and the next day they have cancer and hadn't been to the doctor on a regular basis in years, probably 10, 15 years. And so it'll sneak up on you if you're not keeping regular check of those things.
That's right. And not just those two for women, but the dentist, you know.
Right, absolutely.
How many times
You're totally right.
have you rescheduled your dentist appointment?
Yes, me.
Yeah. But we make sure we get our children to the dentist 2 and 3 times a year. Yeah. Vision. I mean, we're all wearing some kind of device to help us see you better. So we need to take care of ourselves. And the way to do that, to make sure we're intentional about it, is you may think, well, what does this have to do with engaging Jesus? But he created you. He stitched us together as our, as Melanie shared on our last podcast. You know, we're intricately formed.
That's right.
And so he knows what it takes to keep us in top shape.
Yes. And, you know, our spiritual life, our relationship with Jesus has a lot to do with our health in so many ways. And for one thing, you know, doctors would tell you that the number one deficit or that causes deficit in our health is stress. I mean, no matter what they find, whether it's cancer or heart disease or whatever, they usually say it's associated, right, with stress. And having a relationship with Jesus has a big effect on your stress. It really does. When you learn how to surrender things to him, when you learn how to trust him, no matter what you're going through, no matter what you're walking through, when you learn to lean on him instead of trying to stand on your own 2 feet, and when you just learn how to let him carry those things and how to rest in Him, so that you can sleep, right? So that you can clear your mind and get some rest, so that you can just relax every now and again. That's so important too. And so, how can we do that? And so it just really does start with spending time with Him every single day and talking with Him and walking with Him. Right. And so that's what Melanie so beautifully kind of wove together for us to do, a pattern and a plan so that we can start walking and talking with Him every single morning. What a great way to start your day. Like, you won't have near as much stress and worry and concern and difficulty throughout your day if you'll just start it that way.
I love that. I love, and y'all, this is the only body that we get to have. We don't get a second one. We don't get one on repeat, or we don't get to choose another one out of a nice closet of body. This is the only one that we get, and so we've got to take care of it while we have it. Right? I mean, each of us was made for a purpose, made on purpose, just like Gwen said. We were intricately made, wonderfully and beautifully made, and there may be a lot of things that I don't. If we're honest, I don't love about how God designed my body. But it is what He designed. And so then for that, I'm going to give Him glory. Now, I do love to enjoy my York peppermint patties on the regular. And so today I'm going to make a choice not to eat those, but to eat some fruit. And so, just making one switch out, making that appointment with the dentist, which I'm going to do after this podcast. Because that's one thing that I get, that I do put off. Or make your appointment for your yearly. Do those things. Don't put those things on the back burner.
That's so good. I love that.
So in summary, we need to engage Jesus. And the way to do that in our physical health is pin it. We know what gets scheduled gets done. We attend to. Either you're writing it down in your day planner or you're putting it in your phone. But if you schedule yourself, you will do it. You will go to the doctor. If you say, okay, by 8 a.m., one of the things I'm going to do, I'm going to knock out a 20 or 30-minute workout. It's going to get done because you have planned for it. You're intentional about it. So how are you intentional about it? Girls, get those clothes out, those gym clothes out the night before. After you put the kids to bed, get your things ready. Set up the room that you're going to work out, or just lay out your tennis shoes and some shorts because it's already hot at 6 o'clock. And that gives you, your mental brain, a head start on the next day. Hey, you don't have to get up looking for your shoes. You know where your clothes are. You've got your headphones or your earbuds ready for your podcast. As you begin your walk.
Engaged for more podcasts.
That's right. And this morning I happened to wake up about 5:30 and it was already bright outside. I mean, pretty bright for 5:30. And I thought, oh my goodness, I've overslept. It was only 5:30. So you can get out and do a little walking in the morning before it gets too hot. It's you don't have to walk in the dark.
I fail at this, so I'm not going to sit here and talk like I do such a good job of this. It ebbs and flows. It ebbs and flows. Like, I'll walk for 4 or 5 days straight, and then I don't walk for 4 or 5 days straight. And so it's just a struggle. But for lately, I keep thinking, what would Jesus do? Like, what would Jesus do? And, we used to talk about that so much. But I think, like, if He were me living my life, like if He came to earth now and He were living my life, what would He eat? What choices would He make? And, how would He care for His body? And so would He be laying on the couch, binge watching a whole series in one night? Just all those things that we make such poor decisions that we know better. We know better, but we live as if we don't know better. And so, just asking, what do I need to change to be more like Him? That is a great way to start engaging Him in your life, is to say, Lord, not only do I want to be more like You spiritually, but I want to be more like You physically. And He would not be carrying the weight that I'm carrying. right now if he were living right now.
Right,
And so
right.
just to recognize that and go, oh, I'm sorry. Let me confess this.
Yeah.
Let me make some changes.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a great point, Pam.
That's what we're here to inspire you to do that. We're going to do it along with you.
Yes.
You inspire us too. So as you are leaning in and becoming more like Jesus in the way you care for yourself, will you let us know? Will you let us know that this was an encouragement to you to do that, so that you'll turn around and encourage us to continue to do it, not just for today, but for tomorrow too, right?
Yes, for sure.
Yes, because God has called all of us to make a difference in the world, to shine the light of Jesus, no matter where we are, no matter what we're doing, and everywhere that we go. And so we need to be strong.
That's right.
We need to be rested, and we need to be leaning into Him, right? And allowing Him to work in us and through us, pointing other people to Jesus.
Yes, and you bring up a good point about rest, because that's much part of our physical health too.
Oh, yeah.
Is that we don't always have to be going 90 to nothing, but maybe it's getting enough sleep. We were just kind of talking about how much sleep we've been getting. I've been requiring a little bit more sleep as of late, and but I've been feeling better during my day.
Yes.
And so are you getting enough rest at night? Are you getting good sleep? And so just observing things like that. If you're not, then go see your doctor to get some help on how to reform your patterns of sleep.
Yeah, and I feel like so many of my friends struggle to sleep, and I do sleep good, and I don't know if it's just something's going on with them that's not going on with me, but I have developed like a pattern of what I do when I get ready to go to sleep. Like I take a long hot bath, and y'all know I burn up anyway, but my bath is really pretty hot when I get in it, and use a lavender bubble bath, and it totally, sometimes I'm falling asleep in the tub. You know what I mean? And one of these days, Lord, please don't let me drop my phone in the bathtub. So, trying to not do that. And then to put on lavender type lotion and just certain things that I do as I get into the bed. And then I sleep so good. And I think that's so important.
All right.
You know,
So I'm going to try to
and,
take a
like,
lavender
or to
bubble
figure,
bath.
everybody's different. So what is it for you? I can remember my dad would like drink a glass of milk before he went to bed, and it would, he always said it counteracted any caffeine he had in the day. Or, what is it for you? I don't know. Maybe you need to read. Maybe you need to, what, I do watch TV when I get in the bed, and I know that's a no-no. But if I turn it on like HGTV or something, then it quiets my thoughts so that my mind can rest and I can fall asleep.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah.
So just you have to figure out what's best for you. I don't know what that is, but ask God, pray about it, and then create that routine so that you can get rest.
Yeah.
Yes.
So are you ready to make a change? So just immediately afterwards, in summary, we're just going to finalize this podcast and just decide in your mind what you're going to make a change with. That today we're going to jumpstart our June.
Yes.
And we're going to engage with Jesus in our physical health for the more that He came to offer us and to give us to enjoy. He came to give us more to enjoy, but we can't enjoy it if we're miserable in our own skin. So what are you going to do today?
Okay, so then let's do that to our own self, right? I just don't think that we can ask other people and us just go about our sinful habits.
I've already said I'm making a dentist appointment.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
And then I am getting lavender for my bath. I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna see if it helps my sleeping a little bit more.
Okay, I am going to. I talked long ago about that 20-hour fast, and I've stopped that. I don't know. I'm not saying I always will do a 20-hour fast, but I am going to be committed to some type of intermittent fasting. I think that's really good for your body to give it some time where it's resetting itself and not just constantly being fed things that you're not even hungry. You're just putting in your mouth. So I am going to rotate intermittent fasting, different time schedules, and focus on mainly eating things that God made.
Yeah, that's good.
Yes.
All right, so I'm not going to finish that ice cream. And I'm going to write out SMART goals in my journal to Jesus, that are specific, measurable, achievable, reflect reality, and then that are time-based. And I think doing this, and that's just the teacher in me, I'll be able to follow through on those SMART goals, because then it's a covenant with myself and it's engaging my Lord Daddy.
Yes, I love that. So good. Okay, send us yours. We want to know what you're going to do.
Yes, we thank you for joining us today.